Did you vote Trump?
I did. I did.
Okay.
Looking at the big picture, I want I want to hear from you and I want to understand from you because you ask a lot, what policies do you like? What do you see? What do you see? Do you see anything positive about Trump? Anything that he has done since he was president, since he wasn't president, and now that he's president again? Is there anything that you can say that you can honestly say that you agree with? And then, sorry, just one more thing. And then,
Operation Warp Speed.
what is that?
That's like the fast track for the vaccines, the development of the vaccines.
Okay, and besides that, though, besides that,
But
Parker,
besides
anything
that,
else? Yeah, anything
him trying to get a
for,
deal done now for TikTok.
I know you love that one. What about him trying to end the war? What about
He's not
that?
trying to
Do
end
you?
wars. He's trying to expand the U.S. He was talking about possibly using the military
Yeah,
to take places like Greenland and Panama and
I know.
utilizing economic sanctions in order to economically coerce Canada to join the United States.
I know. I heard that. But let me ask you this: What if he is able to end the war in Ukraine and Russia? What if he's able to get that accomplished? Is that something that you will agree upon was a good thing?
If he could actually end it in a manner that was like meaningful, right? What I
Hmm.
think he's going to do is going to secede more like power to Russia because it's going to allow for Russia to reload and reinvade.
You're talking about to take over that portion of Ukraine.
Yeah, just to reload and reinvade. Yeah.
Hmm. So you think he has an agenda behind it?
Yes,
It's not
absolutely.
just to end. Yeah. And then let me ask you: Why do you think personally Why do you think she didn't win? Why do you think by a landslide? What do you think the reason is? I mean, besides the fact I know you've said in the past, the stupidity of the Republicans, but overall, what would you say you think is the main reason she did not win?
Kamala Harris?
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because people attributed inflation to the incumbent president was without reason,
Well, that
right?
was something that
That's
people kept
correlation
talking about.
causation fallacy. And secondly,
Right.
and then also we can reference obviously I think that like there's a vast amount of society that's racist and misogynistic. I also think
Mhm.
that it's important to acknowledge that in terms of this particular election, that people were heavily skewed in misinformation because of like social media as well. So
Yeah, well,
I
going back to what you just said about one of the things that I heard, at least what watching watching this with you, you do hear continuously that when you ask that question, why did you vote for Trump? I don't know if I mean it's everybody seems to say over and over the same thing, which is that the economy did better under 2016. Which I mean, it's
yep, 2016 the economy was good.
well, 2016 the economy was good, but the fact that
So who was president in 2016?
well, I know Biden.
What?
Oh, I mean, no, not by, oh my God, you're gonna confuse me now. 2016, 2016. That's who was before him? Who was before him? You know I
Biden
know. I
was
can't think.
there, but in a different role.
No, I know. What's his name? You're gonna kill me. You're gonna make me look stupid. I know. I just can't think of it right now. You got me crazy. What's his name? I loved him. What's his name? Come on, Parker. Just give it to me this time. Hi. What's his name?
Trump says his name with his middle name.
They were just talking the other day. That was the cutest little thing at the funeral. What's his name? Oh my God, you guys are mean, mean. Let me. Okay, I'm gonna
Wait, hold
remember.
on.
It's gonna. It's gonna.
You're
I'm
not even
gonna
looking
remember.
at
It's
the
just right now. I'm
chat. Like,
exhausted. Sorry. Go ahead.
look at the chat.
Look at the chat. You dumbass is basically
Anna,
what they're
thank you so
calling
much
me.
for the $3. Yeah,
No, they're
Okay.
telling you.
his
Yeah,
name
I
is
know.
Barack Obama.
Yeah, I know. I know. They're telling me. But let me ask you before, because I know you're gonna want to hang up on me soon. But let me ask you one more thing about because you were talking to this guy before about immigration. You mentioned that how would we know, right? So how would we know somebody was here illegally, right? And that you would have to racial, profile and so on and so
Yeah, it
forth.
sounds like that's what their process is because they have
Well, I
no
mean,
defined
it kind of
process.
right because how else would we know? But I guess it's more of a question for you. How about when they try to get a job? Wouldn't we know at that point?
What do you mean?
I mean, when they try to work, I mean, they have to have you when you're applying
So
for.
what if they're going to be employed under the
Mhm.
table? That means that they're not going to like register their employment. So what you're actually going to do is you're going to
Well,
create, by doing that, you're going to create
mhm.
worse conditions for undocumented immigrants that are in the country, because then they're going to have an even greater threat of being deported.
But do you want that? You don't want them. Okay, so what resolution do you see? Because I you can't tell me, you cannot tell me that you agree with open borders or allowing everybody to just come in and get a job and become over time, because you there's no way that you're okay with that. So what resolution do you see to at least slow it down? Because you do have to admit that under Biden it was you cannot tell me that it was out of control. Right? I mean, we know it. We know the numbers were higher than
Border? You,
ever.
you mean in terms of borders?
Yeah, in terms of people coming over illegally, right? I mean, it
So
is what
so
it.
so again, in terms of people coming to the country like undocumented, right? I think that more people were incentivized to come to the country because of economic insecurity that exists around the world. I don't think it's because of of any policy the Biden
Mhm.
Harris administration passed.
Well, do you think it's because also the encouragement from that administration and the fact that he knew that once they became
Kamala
legal, they would
Harris
vote
said,
for
"Do
him?
not come."
No, she did. She did. So, but again, I'm asking you, what do you see as a resolution? What would you do as a resolution to ensure that we really can slow it down? We don't want that. Nobody can honestly say, I don't care if you're a Republican, I don't care who you are, say that we want open borders. We don't. We don't want that. Now, we want people to be treated fairly. We want to help people. I understand that, but there's got to be a way to fix this. There has to be. We have to think about that. We have to think of a way. I want to know what you think.
So a way to fix this, that would probably be through a policy, right?
Hmm.
What were any of Trump's policies for this?
I
Because
don't
there
know.
was a bipartisan border bill that was being passed through Congress where Donald Trump called people in Congress to not pass that bill.
Yeah, and he stopped it, didn't he? He stopped it, and
Yes,
that
he called
was,
people in Congress to undermine that bill.
and I think that he thought it was. See, that was, I know, and that was something that he got wrong because he understood it wrong, at least
Anna,
from
thank
what
you
he
so
was
much for the
saying.
$5. Thank you so much, Anna.
Yeah, yeah.
Go
So
ahead.
a policy, and what would this policy look like? I want to know more.
The bipartisan border bill, it already was in Congress.
And you think if that passed, that would have
That would have been
done
way
more?
better for the border. Yes.
Yeah. And you think if somebody does your opinion on somebody coming in, illegally, right, for a better life, you think that we should not send them back no matter what. We should put them on the path of citizenship.
I think if someone is undocumented in the country, has not committed a violent crime, has not committed a bad crime, they should have a pathway to citizenship. Yes.
Okay. And the people that he
So, but what is the
recently
reason
sent
why
back,
you voted for Donald Trump, in despite of
I
all of the bad
know,
things that that I've already brought up
I
about him?
know. I know. I just want to ask one more thing though about is as far as where was I going with that?
No. You didn't listen to me there. Like,
I
what
know.
specifically about Donald Trump is so great that makes you overlook all of the bad things that I have said repeatedly about him that you know that I say?
I know. I just, I'll be very honest with you. I am so against war and all these people. I mean, you see this stuff, these people that are being families and children that are being fucking blown up. It's heartbreaking. And the fact of knowing that he's tough, he's tough and people fear him, that he'll come in and he promised he's going to stop this shit. I want to see him stop it. I want to see it happen. Now, as far as I understand, he's already taken these steps. I don't know if it's true, but that's what I've read. He's taking steps to both of them, the both wars. And I'm hoping that he can do it. And if he does it, I will be happy. I mean, that's the main reason I voted for him. The other reason too, I just feel like she's just, yeah, she was just kind of all over the place, Parker. She didn't make sense a lot when she spoke. There were things that just didn't add up. Yeah, I'm not saying Trump doesn't have his things, but and I know, and believe me, you don't know how difficult it was for me going in there and voting for him, knowing that he has been found guilty for what is it, 40? How many? What was it? I don't even know how many it was. Um, how many charges did he even have that he was found guilty for? I think it was like
I think
40
that mustache.
something. So I understand. I understand where you're coming from with all of it. It's just,
So, do you dispute his charge? Do you dispute any of his convictions? Push that mustache. Do you dispute him being held civilly liable of sexually abusing a woman? Do you dispute the fact that he bragged about walking into changing rooms of naked teenage girls because he quote unquote owns the place to inspect them, right, without their
yeah,
consent, right? Do
yeah,
you dispute
of
any of
course.
these things? Because these are obviously horrible things, and none of the things you brought about Kamala Harris are anywhere
Yeah.
near as bad about these things. And I know that you think that these things are bad. So how
Yeah,
can
of
you
course they are.
overlook those things?
I know. Believe me, I go back and forth on it all the time. It's very upsetting. I want to believe he didn't do it. I think I've tricked myself to believe that it didn't happen. I don't know. I don't know. I just, I think I really don't. I don't have an answer for you on that. I think, and I'm also upset about the fact that he pardoned all these people that, especially the ones that literally, went in there, barged in there and hurt people and threatened people, and let them out. I think that really upset me too. That's another thing that I think was from January 6th. You know what I'm talking about, right?
No,
You know what
restate
I'm
what you're
referring
saying.
to. Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, I'm saying that another thing that really upset me was the fact that he pardoned all these people for January 6th. He let everybody out. He let
Yeah. So
everybody out.
yeah. You think it's okay that he pled? He
Absolutely
literally
not.
he. Okay, so you think that's bad that he
Of course,
pardoned
these
people
people.
that pled guilty to violently assaulting police officers. So,
Absolutely, I do.
so these are
Absolutely,
just
very
reasons for you
upsetting.
to not want to vote for him.
I just want somebody to make some changes, Parker. I just want someone to do something. I
Yeah, I
just
understand, but
feel
the Kamala Harris was actually like had a policy to do something, and Donald Trump didn't have these policies. He didn't have a healthcare policy, a childcare policy, housing affordability
Mhm.
policy, a policy to lower prices. Donald Trump didn't have a policy to fight climate change. None of those things did he have a
I know.
policy for. Donald Trump didn't acknowledge any of those things.
Did you watch him on Joe Rogan or no?
Did I watch Donald Trump on Joe Rogan?
Yeah.
Yes.
You watched the whole thing. Good for you. Okay, I'm glad you did. And I only say that because I feel like, people that don't like him won't watch anything and I want people to be educated on both sides. So I'm glad that you watched the whole thing
Yeah.
and your thoughts.
I mean, like he like was like rambling incoherently for like a huge portion of it.
Yeah. And why do you think, so you think, okay, so anyways, going back, and I'll let you go. I just want to know, so you think majority of the reason why he won was because people are misinformed, right? And
Yes,
people think that the economy
yes.
was,
People
yeah,
attribute inflation to the incumbent president, which was Biden and Harris in this
right,
context, right? And that's why people did not vote for Democrats, is because they attributed high prices to Democrats. I appreciate the paper crane, when actually it's literally going to be higher prices because of Republicans like Donald Trump who are advocating for tariffs.
right. Lots to think about. All right, Mr. Parker, I'll let you go.
All right, appreciate you coming up.
You're doing good. Okay, bye.
Well, that was interesting.